Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is about the myths which a lot of you have around ISB admissions. There are so many questions we keep getting from the aspirants, which to an extent lies in a domain of myths. Let's bust it once and all. These days, I'm getting a lot of questions around, is round 2 a right time to apply, or should we only apply in round 1? Or can I go to round 3? And how adversely it will affect me? I don't know where this notion is actually coming from. As ISB admission committee, or anyone from the professor fraternity, or anyone from ISB has never said that there is some adversity around applying to round 2 or round 3 applications. In fact, ISB has gone on record to say that we accept nearly equal candidates across different deadlines. Now then, when should you apply? Should you apply in round 1 or round 2 or round 3? My answer to that question is, you should apply when you are ready. Now when I say this, a lot of my students say that, I could be ready in 10 days, I could be ready in 20 days, I could be ready in a month. And if you give me 3 months, I might not be ready in even 3 months. So my answer to that is, how you understand you are ready is that you have done at least 5, 6, 7 edits of your SOPs, essays. If you're taking a professional help, then maybe your mentor and you are satisfied with what you have written. And you have presented your case in the best possible way. In essays, in SOP, you're getting a great LORs, that's when you are ready. So rather than focusing on a lot of rumors around whether round 1 is good or round 2 is good, my suggestion would be focus on when is your application ready and just give it a try. Second myth, which I hear a lot, is around GMAT score. A lot of students are worried about that what is a right GMAT score for ISB? Or is the GMAT score the only thing for my application? So let me tell you, this normally pops up because there are other domestic exams where the more focus in evaluation is around the test score. In ISB or any of the colleges abroad, the focus is on your overall profile. Though of course, getting a good GMAT or a GRE score gives you an edge, but at the same time, how they look at your application is with the 5 different lenses. Now we have made an elongated video on this, you can watch it on our channel, but largely it deals with 5 lenses. So though GMAT GRE score gives you an edge if you have scored well, but if you see the overall process, the selection criteria includes other aspects. Second question, which I get a lot in our discussion sessions with our students, aspirants, is how much GMAT matter for ISB admissions. Now, I would say GMAT or a GRE score, of course, has a certain weightage, but it is not the only thing. ISB largely looks at your overall profile, the holistic profile of yours. They largely follow 5 lenses apart from GMAT GRE. So let's say you score well in GMAT GRE, that gives you an edge. But what ISB looks at is a holistic profile. And they'll view your profile through 5 different lenses. One is ACATS, which is your 10th, 12th, undergrad. Then they look at your currics, extra currics. Then they also focus on your work experience. And it's not about the number of and it's not about the number of years. It's about the quality of work experience. And finally, it goes into a domain of whether you have done something for society. So that's another lens. And finally, it's about your overall story, which is where you are today, what you want to achieve, your goals, and how ISB MBA at this point gonna help you. So rather than just focusing on GMAT, work on both the things in parallel. Have a good GMAT score or GRE score. Start preparing for that if you have not already started. Alongside, you should also focus on your overall profile. Now, before we go ahead in this video, if you're looking at applying this year to ISB, you can always reach out to us and we can guide you through the entire process. Now, Global Treat has been working with students, aspirants for almost a decade now. We have been helping students who are applying for PGP 1 year for a while, and now we also do it for PGP Young Leaders program. So if you want us to work with you around your profile or your application preparation, now let's talk about a third question. A lot of people have lower academics. now when we were in 10th, 12th, or maybe in undergrad, because something happened at some point of time, and that's why we were not able to focus that much on studies at that particular year. And that ended up with the lower academics. Now, one question again which I get a lot is around, with the low academics, do I stand a chance? Now, my answer normally is, of course you do. It's not that if you got a lower academics, then you can't make it to ISB. Now, of course, when you look at the 5 lenses or 5 buckets which we talked about, maybe due to the low acads, you have a gap in one particular bucket. Now, if you look at the 5 buckets, having a low academics, of course, could impact one of the bucket. But then you have the rest of the 4 to work on. Another thing which we have noticed, and this is our observation, I don't say that ISB claims that, but our observation has been that if you've got a lower academics, I think the best way to make for it is your GMAT or GRE score. See, at the end of the day, why an institute is looking at your academics? Because they want to see how good you were when you were studying a curriculum, how good you were in studies. So if you get a good GMAT or a GRE score, that can compensate for your low academics. But getting a lower academics should not deter you from applying to ISB. Another question which comes a lot is around career gaps. A lot of us have gap during our studies or career gaps, and that's why they're thinking about whether we should apply to ISB or not. Now, some of you might have prepared for engineering, medical, and that's why after 12th, you have taken a drop of a year or 2. There could be people who have a career gap, leaving one organization while going to the other one. They faced some situations at home or some personal issues due to which there is a gap in their overall CV. Now, when it comes to ISB, they don't focus just on that particular year when you were not doing anything or you were taking a gap. Their main focus is around the holistic profile of yours. They look at, let's say out of 7 years, you were working for 6 or 5.5 years, while there was a year or 1.5 years when you were not working. There are also people who prepare for UPSC. Let's say they've taken a 3-4 years gap and then they started working because, let's say they were not able to clear the mains, or let's say the interview was not clear. So these kind of career gaps are absolutely fine when you are applying to ISB. So of course, there could be questions around that career gap. But at the same time, what they will majorly focus on is when you were working, what you were doing. What is the impact you were creating for the organization? I think if you mold your answers well, if you write your answers well, while during interviews you prepare well and answer those questions, and be very, very honest around your answers, right? You don't have to come up with some story and give it to them. Be honest, share what happened, and also focus more on what value you added while you were working. So ISB is more interested in the overall profile. If you have a 1 or 2 year gap, or let's say you have low academics, or let's say one of the things you are lacking in, ISB would be more interested in where you have the glass half full, how you did there. That has been our observation from the candidates with whom we have worked. So we have worked with around 1,000 plus candidates till date. And, these are the things which have come up while working with them. I wanted to share with you, and these are questions which keep coming to us. So I thought once and for all, we should make a video around this. If you are preparing for ISB, or if you are applying to any of the B school abroad, then do subscribe our channel. We keep putting out content which can help you in your journey.